What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be doing a quick scope review. We're going to be talking about the Riton X5 Tactix 1:6x24 scope. Now, before we do that, I want to thank a couple people. I want to thank my Patreon supporters. Because of you guys, we get ammunition and guns and cool stuff on the channel to do reviews. So if you want to help support the channel, all you got to do is go down to the link in the description below. Another link in the description is going to be YSS in Ames, Iowa. It's the shelter that I always support on the channel, but it could use your support, and I would really appreciate if you click the link and donate to those kids. And finally, there's a link to Optics Planet down there below, because they're actually the ones who sent this Riton scope for me to review. Cal over at Optics Planet is a guy that I've met a couple of years ago, and we're pretty good friends. We text all the time, and this was a scope that many people asked me to review, and it's kind of off the wall, a company that I wasn't really familiar with, so I talked to Cal, and he sent this over for me to review. So I appreciate that, and like I said, if you're interested, there's a link down below for this guy in the description. Now, the stats on this scope before we get any further. It's got a pretty interesting reticle on it. It's got a TF1 reticle on it, which is a ballistic compensated reticle that you can see in the filler here, and it works very well anywhere from close range all the way out to long range. It's also illuminated, and it's also first focal plane. For you guys who like first focal plane, it's a pretty good way to go. Scope also comes with MOA adjustments, comes with some scope covers that I broke immediately. Now, it also came with this pretty cool QD mount here. I obviously had to attach it and level it and get my eye relief and all that, which is such a fun experience overall. But it is a very durable scope mount here because we didn't lose any zero or any issues like that whatsoever. And as you can see here, it QD comes on and off. QD is an interesting word because I have it fairly tight on there, so it retains zero. But even when we took it off and put it back on, we were only off by a little less than an inch. So actually not only retains zero, but it helps hold zero when you take it on and put it back off as well. Now, these are the adjustment knobs for the illumination, and in there is the battery, and then we have the adjustment knobs for your elevation and windage as well. And I said they're MOA adjustments. I think they're one half MOA adjustments, and they do have a zero stop too, which is pretty sweet. Now, this guy has a 1:6 magnification, which makes it really good from 0 to all the way out to 600 yards, and it's riding on this 308 Roam here, this R10 ultralight, so the caliber in itself is probably good out to 700 or 800 yards, so you could probably make accurate shots with the scope out to that distance, but it wouldn't be ideal. You probably want something more than a 1:6, anything past 400, but you could do 600 if you're a good shot. I mean, heck, I've made shots at 400 yards with iron sights, so a 1:6 scope, you can definitely get there. Something like an animal, though, in a hunting situation or something more serious than that, I'd get a little bit closer than 800, 600 yards. I'd probably stick to 0 to 400 yards for a 1:6 power scope. I think the 1:6, 1:8 scopes are probably the most versatile optic on the market. They increase the distance of accuracy on a rifle a great deal. A 1:6 is also a really good ranch rifle style. So if you live out in the country like I do, even a home defense gun can have a 1:6 optic on it very easily, because with the zero power, you can actually shoot very close, very quickly, similar to a red dot, and then ramp that distance up in case you have to grab your rifle for something other than home defense, so like ranch defense, for example. If you're going to be shooting coyotes trying to eat your sheep or your dogs or something like that, you can get a good bit of distance and accuracy out of a 1:6, and the Riton is a very high quality version of that scope, so it would be good at all of these. Now, the MSRP on this guy is around $999. I've seen it anywhere from $900 all the way up to $1,100, making it pretty on par for prices for a very quality optic. Not something like a Collis or something like that, but certainly on par as far as price-wise with Trijicon or Vortex or something like that. Now, just like those companies, this is a very high-quality optic. You're going to get 100% fog-proof, waterproof. You're going to get tested up to 1200 Gs. The field of view on this guy at 100 yards is going to be 111 feet. Now, one of the two main things I like about this scope, more so than a lot of other scopes that I've tried, is going to be the eye relief is really good on this guy. I noticed that when I was shooting some interesting positions, whether it be on a barricade or on prone. Having an adjustable stock is paramount for something like that, but the eye relief on the scope helps out as well. And the other thing I really like about this optic is going to be the glass quality was ridiculous. On par with my Collis K6i, and if you're familiar with that optic, you know that's a very high quality, very expensive optic. So the glass quality in the Riton is pretty exceptional, considering the price is about a third of what I paid for my Collis. Alright, so this is my feeble attempt at trying to get you guys to see the reticle here. It's black right now. Kind of see it right there. It's really difficult to get it on camera, but here in a second I'll illuminate it. You might be able to see it a little better. Now you can kind of see that weird reticle there. Hopefully we'll have some filler of it too. You can see it kind of looks weird. It looks like a Decepticon or something, but it works extremely well. One of the reasons for the ring is you have to remember that on first focal plane the reticle is going to be very small, so you can kind of use it as a red dot, whereas when it's on 6 power like it is now, you can use it for a ballistic reticle. Let me throw it on 6 power or 1 power here, and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, now you see how it's just a tiny little red dot, and it works all the same as a red dot as well. So up close it's very fast, but it still has an etched reticle in it, so if the battery dies, no need to worry. You still either have a black dot or you have the black etched reticle on 6 power. Now the overall length on this is 10 inches and the overall weight's 22 ounces. I would argue that the only con I really see about this scope is that the 22 ounce weight is a little bit heavy for a 1 to 6 power. 1 to 8 powers exist that are lower than that, and my Collis I think is something like 5 or 6 ounces lighter than this. Eventually 6-7 ounces plus a heavier mount as well. You're going to notice that on long trips up and down hills, say if you're elk hunting, something like that. So the weight is a little bit of an issue, but with that weight you get durability. So you weigh that. You know, if you get something like a US Optics or something, going to be even heavier than this, but they're going to be even more durable. So this is really a good mix between weight, size, glass quality, overall price, features, and functionality. Not really much more to say other than that. It's durable, it's accurate, and it's got really good glass quality. So anything that any other 1 to 6 can do, this can do. And I would argue the only hit on it is probably going to be a little bit of a weight issue. But again, lighter weight generally means less durable. So overall, I think it's a really good scope, and I think it's one of my favorites in that particular price point. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.